Today we're sitting down on the porch with Jennifer, a QHS member whose life is as heartwarming as a home-cooked meal. What paths did she follow to get to where she is today? Let's take a stroll down memory lane and see what's been cooking behind the scenes.
Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I joined QHS on October 23rd of 2023. I learned about QHS the end of September from an email I got from Loved One Society, and it had Ron and Tracy talking about the white device. I contemplated joining for about 3 weeks, but because my husband Mark has arthritis in his hands, and after trying all the things that you think would help, QHS was the only hope left. So we both became members. But as far as my health, I am very blessed. I don't have any health issues, but am looking forward to still maintaining my good health and really looking forward to my husband's health issues of arthritis, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure getting healed. But most of all, it's going to be really interesting to see healing in my husband and to be able to do all the fun things that we used to do when we were younger. I believe with my whole being that frequency healing is the future of medicine. Hi, my name is Jennifer. This is a brief insight on my life up to this point. I am 59 years old. I am the youngest of a family of 6. I have 2 older brothers and 1 older sister. Born and raised in western Nebraska on a farm ranch. I am mostly of German descent. Life was good. We were happy and we are a close family. We ate all of our meals as a family around a big round kitchen table with my grandmother Mary, who helped with meals, and she lived in a trailer house my dad put behind our house for her to live in. She helped cook and clean with her daughter Dolores. My other grandmother Dorothy often joined us for supper. We all helped on the farm, especially my brothers. We fed many head of cattle because we had 2 feedlots. We learned to work hard, and we were rewarded with nice vehicles, clothing, and whatever we needed. We fed at times 2,000 head of cattle. When I was 9, I'd sit at the piano and play, and my parents seen that I had talent, and they asked me if I wanted to take piano lessons, and I said yes. So when I was 10, I started lessons. We grew up with music because my dad was a very good piano player, and his dad was also very musical. We attended a small country school in Broadwater. I learned to sing and watched my teacher play and sing with us during music time, as she was very musical and had a large influence on my musical education when I was young and as a child. They also had the best lunches in school, that everything was homemade and fresh. We had a good life. Moving forward, when I was in 7th grade, the neighboring larger town of Bridgeport built a new school, and I decided to go to it. I wasn't into sports, but spent my time after school playing and practicing the piano. I always wanted to please my dad. It's always very important for me to please him. And when I practiced, it made him really happy. I graduated from high school in 1983 from Bridgeport, and I went on to study music at Hastings College. I graduated in 1991 with a BA in music. I was a bit boy crazy in high school, as were all my friends. I dated a boy in my class, and later I married him, and I now look back and know that that was the biggest mistake of my life. He came from a wealthy, dysfunctional family, and they were alcoholics. Made my college days rather difficult dealing with his party behavior. After about the 20th time of him threatening to kill me, as he concealed a loaded gun on himself, I decided to leave, and I moved back to the farm. And to occupy my time while I got back on my feet, I worked at O'Hara's restaurant in Scottsbluff. After about 9 months, one day getting to work, my dad stopped to have a quick lunch on his way to the cattle sale in Crawford. I was so glad he stopped to see me and had lunch, and he told me that he loved me, and I told him that I loved him. And because later that night on his way home, he had an accident. He had 18 head of calves on the gooseneck trailer, and he passed away the next morning from the truck accident. Ran off the road by another truck. A very tragic time in my life. 6 months before I got a divorce, and 7 months later I lost my dad, and his death really changed my life and our family's life. I was 27 years old when that happened. I started another relationship at that time, but it didn't work out. After that failed relationship, I swore I would never, ever do it again. I lived with my mom, and I had jobs cleaning and of course teaching piano. And no matter where I lived, piano teaching was always and still is a part of my life. It just follows me around wherever I go. I also got involved at that time in a band, a rock band. And we played a lot of gigs around the area. We were very popular. And I also started substitute teaching in a lot of local schools at that time. But as I went through my early 30s, I started to go through a darker time, and drinking and partying to wee hours of the morning started me into a phase of depression. I struggled with that for a while, but then I knew I had to get help. So I found a community mental health clinic and got a counselor, and of course was put on antidepressants. After about 1.5 years of that, I decided to get off those pills, and I have been fine ever since. In 2005, my niece, Michelle, got married. I played the music and I sang the songs that she wanted sung, as I have played for numerous weddings. It was there I met the love of my life, Mark. He was also in the wedding, and he was an usher. We hit it off, and we danced the night away. And we dated for about 9 months, and then got married 14 months after we met. When he asked me to marry him, I actually tried to run away because I just didn't want to get married again. And I told myself, no, I can't do this. I promised myself. But at that time, I had a little corgi dog, and when he asked me to marry him, I said, no, I can't. I gotta leave. I have to leave. And she got a hold of my pant leg, and she wouldn't let me get away. And so we laugh about that a lot. And I was like, well, I guess she's trying to tell me something. So I said, okay, I'll marry you. We were married February 24th of 2006, and we have built a life together with no children, but with each other. And we traveling when we can and enjoying River, our fur baby. And she is a boxer mixed with Australian Shepherd, and she's a sweetheart. I was told that I have a tipped uterus, which would make getting pregnant difficult. But we were 40 years old when we married, and we were kind of okay with it. We figured if it happened, then it did, but we're okay. On our farm, we raise wheat, corn, peas, soybeans, millet, and milo. In 2017, I became ill with the West Nile virus. We were both very nervous about it and very fearful because we knew people that had died from it. And a woman friend of ours was bitten by a mosquito, and she got West Nile virus, and she's now in a wheelchair permanently. So I got on the internet and I researched all the things that I could do to help heal myself and get better with the elderberry, with the West Nile, and I found elderberry was one of the top things to take that would help myself. So Mark said, well, we planted a whole bunch of elderberry behind the barn last year, and I didn't know that. I mean, I knew we planted some, but I just I didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't even know what elderberry was. And he planted them. The reason why I planted them was to help with foliage for pheasants, and so we could do pheasant hunting and things like that. And so, of course, I was too sick to deal with it at that time, and they were too small. They weren't producing. But the next spring, I went out and I mowed around them, and I pulled weeds around them, and we have like 80 bushes. And so, in a consequence to that, I started an elderberry business. So now we have this small business making elderberry syrup with jellies, and I have customers who buy it from me, and they drink it because it helps their immune systems during cold and flu season. So now I am up to date with my Prequel, and I am very excited and feel very blessed, and I feel divinely guided to quantum healing systems. Not sure what the future holds, but I'm hoping after my do-over that life will play out differently. And who knows, maybe we might have a child or two. Who knows? But I definitely want to help heal people. I've always kind of wanted to do things like that. I feel divinely guided to help people heal. So many people I know have health issues, and I look forward to continuing being a part of quantum healing systems, being a part of this history in the making. And I also look forward to the QArc, and especially meeting Cynthia, Dr. Alfredo, Wade, and Tracy, and all the other admin that help with this wonderful project that I believe is going to be the future of our health and healing. Thank you.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.